Good evening. Let's welcome. Let's get started and see the analysis of today Hindu newspaper and various current affairs of today, 16th November 2020. Coming to the first article, that is air quality index. Uh, Due to the effect of Diwali, the air quality in the New Delhi has been gets worsened, and for this it was in news. Coming to the air quality index, it has calculated for the 8 major pollutants. AQI has been calculated for the 8 major pollutants. What are they? Ground level ozone, PM10 and PM2.5, and carbon monoxide, sulfur dioxide, nitrogen dioxide, ammonia, and lead. And there are 6 AQI categories, which are good, satisfactory, moderately polluted, poor, very poor, and severe. These are the categories of the air quality index. They're given a point score from 400 to 400 or 800 points to up to the 0. Uh, when the air quality is having 0 to 50, then it is said to be good, and above then satisfactory, and above then moderately polluted, then poor and very poor, and finally severe. Coming to the SAFER, it is a system of air quality and weather forecasting and research, and it is indigenously developed by the Indian Institute of Tropical Meteorology, Pune, and it was run by the Indian Meteorological Department. It analyzes real-time AQI and on 24/7 basis and gives the color coding. And apart from this, it can forecast the 72-hour advanced forecasting of the weather, and also issues health advisory for the citizens regarding the pollution. And coming to the next article, RCEP, the one of the biggest free trade deal happened. RCEP stands for Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership. It was signed by the total 10 Asian countries and 5 other countries, which form the largest free trade bloc, which was backed by the China. That means it was led by the China. The deal signed on the sidelines of online Asian Summit, that is 37th Asian Summit, and the first time the 3 largest economies packed for the free trade agreement. These largest economies are Japan, South Korea, China. For the first time, China and Japan have reached a bilateral tariff reduction arrangement through this RCEP, and RCEP aims to cover areas of goods and services, investment, and economic and technological cooperation, intellectual property, and dispute resolution. And coming to the members of the RCEP, contribute to 30% of the total global GDP. What are the members means? ASEAN plus 5. These ASEAN 10 countries are Brunei, Cambodia, Laos, Indonesia, Myanmar, Malaysia, Thailand, Philippines, Vietnam, and Singapore. What are the 5 other countries means? China, Japan, South Korea, Australia, and New Zealand. Generally, first it was a arrangement of ASEAN plus 6, and last year in 2019, our India has been exited from it. That's why it become ASEAN plus 5. And coming to the sex ratio reports by the uh, Registrar General of the India, it says that a 2018 report on vital statistics of India based on civil registration system. It was really published by the Registrar General of India. As per the report, Arunachal Pradesh has topped the list with a sex ratio of 1084 females for 1000 males. And least performing state is the Manipur, with the recorded the worst ratio of 757 female per 1000 male. Among the major states, here there is a classification of major states and minor states. Among the major states, Kerala topped the list with 963, And among the minor states, Arunachal Pradesh topped the list. And while among the major state, Punjab being the worst performer with 896 ratio. Coming to the statistics, Arunachal Pradesh has ratio of 1084 female per 1000 male, Nagaland 965, Mizoram 964, Kerala 963, and Karnataka 957. These are the top 5 performing states. And coming to the least performing states, Manipur with 757, and Lakshadweep 839, and Daman Diu 877, and Punjab 896, and Gujarat finally 897. And coming to the some popular states, Delhi has performing with a score of 929 ratio, and Haryana with 914 ratio, and Jammu Kashmir is 952, very well performing. And coming to the data of this report has been available only from 30 states and the union territories, whereas 6 states data has been unavailable. What are these means? Bihar, Jharkhand, Maharashtra, Sikkim, Uttar Pradesh, and Bengal. And number of registered births has been increased from 2.21 crores from 2017 to 2.33 crore births in 2018. That means in a year, 2.21 crore births has been registered in 2017. But the registry of births has been increased by 2.33 crores in 2018. The level of registration of births increased from 81.3% to 89.3%. That is nearly 90% births have been recorded or registered. The prescribed time limit for the registration of any birth or death is 21 days. That means the happening of the birth or death within 21 days, it has to be registered. And the register occurs with a free of cost. States, however, can register even after a year also. When you want to get a birth certificate or death certificate, for first 21 days, it is free. When you take 21 to 30 days, some payment has to be done, and there will be you get your certificate. Or the time period between 30 days to 1 year. This above 30 days and below 1 year, the some of the payment has to be made. Apart from this payment, you have to take a written permission from the corresponding authority, and apart from this, an affidavit on the notary public has to take. And with these 3 conditions, you can take the birth or death certificate within 1 year. And more than 1 year, you have to give it to a first class magistrate. He see the correctness of your data, and payment has to be done, and finally you get the certificate. And coming to the UN peacekeeping forces, UN peacekeeping force or UNPKF, UN Charter gives UNSC the power and responsibility to collective action in the peacekeeping under the Department of Peace Operations. This is a department under UNSC and gives political and executive direction to the UNPKF. That's why the order is under the UN, UNSC, and under UNSC there is Department of Peace Operations. Under Department of Peace Operations, there will be working of the UNPKF. Why is this was in news? China significantly recently scaling up its troops contribution for the UNPKF missions. Coming to the our perspective, USA and India both are jointly trying to undertake military training of the personnel from the Southeast Asian nations such as Vietnam, and send them to the UNPKF. India being the top troop contributors for the UNPKF, standing at the 5th largest position of the contributors with 5,424 personnel, and who have been working in 8 countries. And the US never contributed to the ground troops, but it contributes to the 27% of the UNPKF budget. And in 2016, India and USA have jointly has initiated a joint annual initiative, that is UN peacekeeping course for the African partners. and it aims to build the capacity of the African troops and police. uh, this is the capacity building initiative. And coming to the China, China wants to expand its troops to the UN in addition to funds. And currently over 2,500 troops has been contributed from the China to the UNPKF, and it is plans to increase up to 8,000 troops. Once implemented, it is the largest provider of the troops for the UNPKF, and it contributes to the 12% budget of the UN General Assembly and 15% of the UNPKF budget. And coming to the India's contribution, India contributes to the 0.83% of the UNGA budget and 0.16% of the UNPKF budget. Indian troops in are working in the Lebanon, Golan Heights, and Congo, and the South Sudan, all these things. And there are India has been also associated with the formation of the two field hospitals in the South Sudan. And coming to the next article, forest rights versus the tribals. Why this was in news means recently 12,000 tribals from the Karnataka has been rejected by the authorities for their forest right claims. Regarding this, you have to study about the Forest Right Acts 2006 or Scheduled Tribes and Other Forest Dwellers Recognition Act 2006. Both are same. Coming to the act recognizes and vests the forest rights occupation in the forest land in the forest dwelling tribes, other traditional forest dwellers who residing in those forests for generation. That means this right made ద ఫారెస్ట్ రైట్స్ ఫారెస్ట్లో ఒక వృత్తి అనేది ఇక్కడ రికగ్నైజ్ చేస్తుంది, తర్వాత వాళ్ళకి ఇస్తుంది. ఎవరికంటే ఫారెస్ట్ డ్వెల్లింగ్ షెడ్యూల్ ట్రైబ్స్, ఎవరైతే ఫారెస్ట్లో నివసిస్తూ ఉండే షెడ్యూల్ ట్రైబ్స్ ఉన్నారో లేదా ట్రెడిషనల్గా ఫారెస్ట్లో నివసించే వాళ్ళు ఉన్నారో వీళ్ళకి ఆ రైట్స్ అనేది కల్పిస్తుంది అనమాట ఈ యాక్ట్ ప్రకారం. Act also established responsibility and authority for sustainable use and conservation of the biodiversity. ఈ యాక్ట్ ఇంకా ఏం చేస్తుందంటే సస్టైనబుల్ యూజ్ తర్వాత కన్జర్వేషన్ ఆఫ్ బయోడైవర్సిటీ ఈ రెండిటికి కూడా రెస్పాన్సిబుల్ చేస్తుంది అథారిటీ ద్వారా. అండ్ ఇట్ స్ట్రెంథెన్స్ కన్జర్వేషన్ రెజైమ్ ఆఫ్ ద ఫారెస్ట్ అండ్ వైల్ ఎన్ష్యూరింగ్ లైవ్లీహుడ్ అండ్ ఫుడ్ సెక్యూరిటీ టు దోస్ ట్రైబ్స్. ఒక పక్క లైవ్లీహుడ్ ఫుడ్ సెక్యూరిటీ ఈ ట్రైబ్స్ కల్పిస్తూ ఇంకో పక్క ఫారెస్ట్ ని కన్జర్వేషన్ చేస్తూ దీన్ని స్ట్రెంథెన్ చేస్తుంది అనమాట. దీంతో పాటు కొలోనియల్ ఇంజస్టిస్, ఏదైతే కొలోనియల్ టైంలో ఉన్న ఫామ్ అయిన రూల్స్ ఏవేవో ఉన్నాయో వాటినన్నిటినీ తిరగ రాసే విధంగా రెక్టిఫై చేస్తూ ఈ లా అనేది క్రియేట్ చేయబడింది అన్నమాట. కమింగ్ టు ద రైట్స్ అండర్ ద ఫారెస్ట్ రైట్స్ యాక్ట్, title rights, use rights, and relief and development rights, and finally forest management rights. The title rights, it will give a titular rights of up to 4 hectares of the land for the cultivation of the tribes in the area who these 4 hectares has been cultivating for generations. Other than this, no land has been sent to them, given to them. And coming to the use rights, extract of forest minor forest produce has been given the use rights, and they can use the extract minor forest produce. And coming to the relief and redevelopment rights, they will be rehabilitated in case of any illegal eviction or forced displacement. And forest management rights, they will be right to protect, conserve, and regenerate and manage the forest or any community reserve of the forest resource. And process of the recognition of the land under this act, at first Grama Sabha or village assembly originally passes a resolution suggesting the rights belongs to the tribal population, and it will be selected and accepted at the level of the subdivision or taluka or district level. There will be a screening committee in this level. The screening committee has 6 members, three government officials and three elected members of the local body of that level. And these three government officials are from the departments of forest, revenue, and the tribal welfare. And finally, the land will be recognized under the act. After the recognition, this land cannot be sold or transferred to anyone. All this about the today's current affairs.